The door to the conference room closes with a soft click, but the sound echoes in your mind like a slammed gavel. You walk back to your desk, the blood pounding in your ears, replaying every word of the conversation. Your manager's critique felt less like constructive feedback and more like a personal indictment. Your shoulders are tight, your chest feels heavy, and a hot wave of frustration washes over you. It's a scene that plays out in countless offices every single day. A capable, dedicated professional leaves a one-on-one feeling demoralized, misunderstood, stuck. This interaction can easily poison your work experience, draining your motivation and making you question your own competence. This experience is profoundly human and incredibly common. Research shows that a primary reason people leave their jobs isn't the work itself, but the relationship they have with their direct supervisor. It's easy to fall into a cycle of blame and resentment, labeling your boss as difficult, a micromanager, simply a jerk. While those feelings are valid, fixating on their flaws gives away your power. The most effective professionals learn to shift their focus from the person they cannot change, their boss, to the one thing they can absolutely control, their own strategy. Before you can formulate an effective strategy, you must first understand the landscape. It is tempting to view your manager's actions through a purely personal lens, assuming their critiques or demands are a direct reflection of their opinion of you. However, managers are not operating in a vacuum. They are often the focal point of immense pressure from their own superiors, from other departments, from overarching company objectives. They are held accountable for their team's output, hitting aggressive targets, navigating complex organizational politics. That unreasonable deadline they just gave you might be a direct order from a vice president, who is, in turn, responding to board-level demands. This pressure often manifests in behaviors that are easily misinterpreted. A manager who seems to be micromanaging every detail of your project might not be doing so because they distrust you. They might be terrified of failure. Their own career might be on the line, and their intense focus on your work is a symptom of their anxiety, not your incompetence. Similarly, a boss who communicates in curt, clipped emails might not be intentionally rude. They could be overwhelmed, juggling dozens of urgent tasks, and have adopted a communication style that prioritizes efficiency over warmth. Understanding these external forces helps reframe the situation. Their behavior is often less about you and more about the stressors acting upon them. Furthermore, it's a simple but often overlooked fact that many people are promoted into management positions without adequate training. The most powerful tool in your strategic arsenal is the space between a trigger and your response. When your manager says something that feels unfair or critical, your immediate visceral reaction is often emotional. Your heart rate might increase, your face might flush, your mind might race with defensive or angry thoughts. This is the react mode, driven by the amygdala, the brain's ancient threat detector. Reacting in this state often leads to saying something you later regret, escalating the conflict, or shutting down completely. The key to professional mastery is to resist this impulse and consciously choose to respond instead. A response is considered, deliberate, and aligned with your long-term goals. To develop this skill, start with the simplest of actions, the pause. When you feel that jolt of frustration or anxiety, do not speak immediately. Take a slow, deep breath. If you are in a virtual meeting, you can mute your microphone for a moment. If you are in person, you can look down at your notepad as if you are considering their point. This brief interval, even just 3 to 5 seconds long, is enough to let the initial emotional wave crest and begin to recede. It gives your prefrontal cortex, the rational, planning part of your brain, a chance to come online and take control from the purely emotional centers. Once you have created that moment of pause, use it to frame your response with neutral, fact-based language. One of the most effective techniques is to transform your emotional reaction into a clarifying question. For example, if your manager says, "This report is a complete mess," your reactive impulse might be to say, I worked all weekend on that. Protect your well-being with a professional shield, clear boundaries, and meticulous documentation. For after-hours requests, you can state, "To ensure I'm focused during work hours, I disconnect in the evenings. I will address this first thing in the morning." The second layer is documentation. After a verbal chat, send a brief, neutral recap email. This creates a clear paper trail of what was agreed upon, ensuring alignment and demonstrating proactivity. Attempting to manage a difficult boss on your own can be isolating. A crucial part of your strategy is to build a coalition of allies. Your coalition should include trusted peers and a mentor. Peers understand your daily challenges, while a mentor offers strategic advice from a distance. Frame your outreach professionally, asking something like, "Have you found a communication style that works well for clarifying priorities?" Amidst the emotional and strategic work of managing up, it is easy to lose sight of the most powerful variable in your control, the quality of your own work. Your performance is your platform. It is the foundation upon which your reputation is built and your most compelling defense against unfair criticism. When you consistently deliver high-quality work, meet your deadlines, act as a reliable and collaborative team member, you create a positive narrative around you that is difficult for even a difficult manager to dismantle. Excellent performance generates its own form of political capital, earning you respect from colleagues, senior leaders, other departments. Make a conscious decision to channel your frustration into focus. When you feel angry after a tense meeting, instead of stewing in resentment, redirect that energy into completing a key task with exceptional attention to detail. Double-check your numbers, proofread your report one more time, reach out to a colleague on another team to ensure your project is perfectly aligned. This is not about working longer hours to appease your boss. It is about working smarter and with more precision to build an unimpeachable record of competence. Your results become objective data points that stand in stark contrast to any subjective, negative feedback you might receive. Document and communicate your achievements proactively. Don't wait for your performance review to highlight your contributions. In your weekly updates or one-on-one meetings, be prepared to briefly and factually state what you have accomplished. For example, this week I completed the data analysis for the Q4 report, which is now ready for your review. I also resolved the client issue with Acme Corp, and they have confirmed they are satisfied with the solution. This steady drumbeat of positive results makes your value to the team and the organization undeniable. It also helps to keep your conversations with your manager grounded in tangible outcomes rather than subjective feelings. The core theme is a shift in mindset, from reacting to their personality to proactively managing the dynamic. You can't control their behavior, but you have absolute authority over your response. Your goal is to not just survive this, but to thrive. Your next steps are clear. Practice the pause. Send one concise follow-up email to document a decision, and identify one ally you can reach out to. Be kind to yourself. This is difficult work. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.